Your child is melting down. They're screaming, crying, maybe throwing things, and you can feel it happening in your own body. Your chest is tightening, your jaw is clenched. You want to either yell or run away. You already know that forcing yourself to stay calm when you're already activated, it just doesn't work. It just means you white knuckle it until you explode. In this video, I'm going to show you why fighting your activation keeps you stuck in it, what's really happening in your own nervous system, and how to neutralize the triggers so you can stay grounded when your child is falling apart. One of my clients shared this story, and maybe you can relate to it. She and her 11-year-old son were in Target, and before entering the store, she prepared him. They had a clear conversation about what they could and could not buy that day. Within minutes of entering the store, her son started begging for a Lego set they had already agreed would not be purchased that day. He was getting louder, pacing, saying, "But I want it, I need it." She shared that she could feel it starting in her body. Her face got hot, her chest tightened. She was hyper aware of everyone staring. And there was this voice in her head that said, just stay calm, don't lose it in public. So she tried. She smiled, she kept her voice even, she said all the right things. But inside, she was a pressure cooker. Every second he escalated, she felt her own activation climbing. Have you ever had that experience? I know I have. And then he threw the toy. She snapped, not screaming exactly, but that clipped, like teeth-clenching, controlled tone that can actually be scarier than yelling. That's enough. We're leaving now. He dropped to the floor and she stood there shaking, thinking, I tried so hard to stay calm, and now I hate myself. Here's what she learned. She wasn't trying to regulate herself. She was trying to suppress herself. And suppression doesn't work. Because when you fight your nervous system's response, you don't calm it down, you actually keep it activated. What she needed wasn't more willpower, she needed actual regulation tools. So let's talk about what those might look like. So you already know that just stay calm doesn't work. It's completely useless. Let's talk about that as a nervous system issue. Because your nervous system doesn't work that way. When your child is dysregulated, their nervous system is literally broadcasting distress signals. And your nervous system, because you're their parent, because you love them, because you're wired for connection, picks up on those signals. This is called neuroception. Your nervous system is constantly scanning for safety or danger. It happens automatically, beneath our conscious awareness. And when your child is in crisis, your nervous system reads that as danger. So your body responds, fight, flight, or freeze. Maybe your heart rate increases, stress hormones flood your system, and your thinking brain starts to go offline. This is not a character flaw, this is biology. Suppression makes it worse. So when you tell yourself, stay calm when your nervous system is screaming danger, you're not actually calming yourself at all. You're just adding another layer of stress because now you're fighting against your own body's response. So think about it. Have you ever tried not to think about something and then that's all you can think about? Like chocolate. Or is that just me? That's what happens when you try to suppress activation. Resistance keeps you stuck in it. So instead of fighting your nervous system, you need to work with it. Here are the 3 things you can do to work with your body. I'll list them and then we'll go into each one more deeply. First, understand what's happening in your body. Second, use tools that actually shift your physiology. And third, give yourself realistic goals, like moving from I'm about to explode to I'm activated but managing. Let's walk through those now. So first is knowing your early warning signs. The key to staying regulated is catching yourself early, before you're in full fight or flight. Just like we try to do with our kids. Because once you're fully dysregulated, your prefrontal cortex, the thinking, problem-solving part of your brain, goes offline. At that point, you literally can't access the calm, strategic parent that you want to be. So you need to know your early warning signs. These are the signals that your body sends you before you hit your breaking point, when you still have options. Here are some common early warning signs. So physical symptoms might be your jaw clenching, your teeth grinding, your chest tightening, your breathing getting shallow, your heart rate speeding up. Maybe stomach churning or nausea, hands making fists, face getting hot. Second would be thought patterns. I can't do this. Why is this happening again? Nothing I do works. I just want this to stop. Catastrophizing, as in, this is never going to get better. Or personalizing, they're doing this to me. The behavioral urges you might feel are wanting to yell or snap, wanting to leave or escape. I like that one. Wanting to control or force compliance, wanting to shut down and disconnect. So here's your assignment. The next time your child is dysregulated, try to notice what happens in your body first. Is it your jaw, your breath, your shoulders, a specific thought? Because once you know your personal early warning sign, you can intervene at that point before you lose access to your thinking brain. For me, I can feel my heart rate rising, my face getting really hot. I definitely used to catastrophize, and it's a toss-up whether I wanted to control or escape. But I guess I mostly wanted to escape because the illusion of control evaporated a long time ago. When I first experience those signs, I know I'm starting to activate and I need to do something now. What's yours? I'd love to hear it in the comments. What do you think your first signs are? In addition to knowing your early warning signs, it's also important to know this unfortunate truth about regulation. And that is that you can't go from activated to calm in just one step. Your nervous system doesn't work like a light switch. It works more like a dimmer. You have to turn it down gradually. That might look like a top step that's fully activated. Your heart's racing, you're thinking, I can't do this. Then a middle step might look like you still feel the intensity, but you're not reactive. You have some access to your thinking brain, and you can use your strategies. And then the bottom step, which is regulated, you're grounded, present, and you can respond thoughtfully. The goal here is just don't try to get to the bottom immediately. Just try to move down one step at a time. From I'm about to lose it to I'm activated, but I can handle this. And again, the best way to do that is to use your regulation tools before you're completely overwhelmed. And you do that by recognizing your own early warning signs. Now let's talk about regulation tools that actually work. We're going to talk about several options because different things work for different people. So pick 2 or 3 that resonate with you and practice them outside of a crisis moment. When you do that, they're more likely to be available when you need them. So category 1 is physiological interventions. These work because they directly signal safety to your nervous system. You can't logic your way out of dysregulation, but you can shift your physiology. So first might be the physiological sigh. That's a fancy name for a deep breath. It's fast, it's subtle, and it works. Take 2 quick inhales through your nose and then 1 long, slow exhale through your mouth. I know people are telling us all the time, like, just take a deep breath. But it does actually work physiologically because it activates your parasympathetic nervous system, your rest and digest system, which counteracts the fight or flight response. A second tool might be cold water or ice. If you can splash water on your face, that can change your physiology. It might not be practical if you're out in public, but it does work because it triggers something called the dive reflex, which automatically slows your heart rate. It's a hard reset for your nervous system. Tool number 3 is movement to discharge energy. So shake out your hands, do 10 jumping jacks, stomp your feet, squeeze or release your fists. This one can definitely look strange in public, but you can think of it as trading embarrassments. It works because when your body's activated, it's flooded with adrenaline and cortisol, stress hormones that are preparing you for fight or run. And movement helps discharge that energy so it doesn't just sit in your system. It makes perfect sense. Fourth would be pressure or grounding, and that's just pushing your hands against a wall, squeezing a stress ball or fidget toy. It works because the pressure provides proprioceptive input, just like for our children, and it's inherently regulating to your nervous system. So those are all physiological tools. Second are cognitive reframes. Those help you shift your thinking when you're starting to spiral. So reframe 1, this is temporary, instead of this is never going to end. It may feel intense right now, but meltdowns don't last forever. You might want to tell yourself, my job is just to stay safe while we ride this out. Reframe 2, my child isn't giving me a hard time, they're having a hard time. So recognizing that their system is just overwhelmed and it's not personal can help you reset yourself in the moment with that cognitive reframe. Number 3, I don't have to fix this right now. Instead of, I need to make this stop now, which is how we all feel. We can try something like, my job isn't to stop the meltdown, my job is to keep us both safe and let their nervous system reset. These reframes won't magically make you calm, but they can interrupt that catastrophizing and personalizing thoughts that escalate your activation. So now let's talk about what co-regulation actually means. It does not mean being perfectly calm and zen while your child is melting down. That's not realistic. That's not human. Co-regulation means your nervous system is regulated enough to be a safe anchor for your child's nervous system. What that looks like in real life is you might still feel worried or sad for your child or anxious or tired or frustrated. but you're not in fight or flight mode yourself, reactive or defensive, trying to control or stop the meltdown through force. You're present, you're grounded, you're safe. And your nervous system is quietly sending a message to your child's nervous system, I'm here, you're safe, I can handle this. Sometimes the most regulating thing you can do is just be there without trying to fix anything. You can sit nearby, not hovering, not demanding connection, just present. Breathe slowly and intentionally. Trust that your regulated presence is doing the work, even if your child isn't ready to reconnect yet. I know this feels passive. I know it feels like you're not doing enough, but your nervous system is the tool. When it's regulated, you become the safe space your child needs to find their way back. Before we wrap up, let me tell you some of the mistakes I see parents make over and over, and I've made them all myself. Number one, trying to regulate your child before regulating yourself. When you're dysregulated, anything you do for your child, even if you're using all the right words, comes across as dysregulated. Your child's nervous system will feel your activation, and it can keep them stuck. So regulate yourself first. Even if it takes a few minutes, it's worth it. Mistake number two, judging yourself for getting activated. Your nervous system is supposed to respond to your child's distress. That's not a failure, that's connection. The failure is when you don't do anything about it, when you just let yourself spiral or explode. But feeling that in the first place, that's normal, it's human. Mistake number three, waiting until you're fully dysregulated to use your tools. As we talked about, these tools work best when you use them early. Mistake number four, thinking you can use logic when you're activated. When you're in fight or flight, you don't have access to the prefrontal cortex, the thinking part of your brain that logically solves problems. So don't try to talk yourself down with logic in the moment. Use the physiological tools first to bring your activation down, and then you can think clearly. You're not supposed to be immune to your child's regulation. You're not supposed to feel nothing when they're in crisis. You're human with a nervous system that's wired for connection. Of course you're going to feel something when your child is struggling. The goal isn't to be a robot who never gets activated. The goal is to notice when you're getting activated and have tools to bring yourself back before you tip over into full dysregulation. And that's what co-regulation actually is. It's not perfection. It's not never feeling overwhelmed. It's feeling it, recognizing it, and choosing to do something about it before you lose access to your choices. If this was helpful, I have another video about what to do when you do lose it, because that happens, how to repair with your child after you've yelled, and how to talk to yourself so you don't spiral into shame. If this was helpful, I hope you'll consider giving it a thumbs up, a like, subscribe if you haven't yet. That really helps me reach more parents, and I'll see you in the next video.